Chapter 5 Fishers in Affection.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सन्निक्तेषु यपुजायते संज्ञातसंज्ञायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो बीजायते. Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, Verse 62. While contemplating on the objects of the senses, one develops attachment to them. Attachment leads to desire, and from desire arises anger.
Life is all about things happening when they are the least expected. 6 o'clock in the morning and Ahmedabad is already astir. A newspaper vendor with loads of paper on his bike rushed to deliver stock near Prahlad Nagar garden. Parth recently started a routine of going for a walk in the garden in the morning. On the way, he saw people already on their way to work. Some were in their cars, some rode motorcycles, and some others waited for their staff buses by the road near the Crossroads. Parth could see some school children too, waiting for their school buses. Passing by the tea stall that had opened for business, Parth could see some dark figures hunkered down under the stall. Small stalls on the outside pavement of the garden, selling fresh juices and snacks were another wonderful sight to see in the morning. Steaming baskets of poha, idli, healthy fresh fruit juices, hot soups and Ayurvedic liquids, there was something for everyone. A group of about 15 to 20 people were already there. Each one enjoyed their favorite stuff after walking with their peers while having a cheerful chit-chat. They were mostly older men and women in their 50s and above. Most of them were now known faces to Parth. Though he identified them only with their faces and not by names, he ran across them on his daily walk in the garden and they recognized Parth by his face too. There were 3 elderly ladies, probably in their 60s, always found to be resting on the last bench near the exit, exhausted after their walks in the traditional Indian clothes and walking shoes. Another old gentleman was there who was mostly found to be writing inspirational quotes on the notice board of the garden. A group of mid-40s mothers doing yoga in the garden. A bunch of grey-haired retired men discussing the stock markets and government policies, and many different types of people. What a wonderful mix of people to encounter during his walk around the track. Though he always walked with his music and earphones in, he always thought how each of these people must have a different routine during the day, yet a shared morning habit. He had an image or perception of each individual he saw on a regular basis based on his body language and facial expressions. How unusual is human nature that he attempts to judge others solely on their outward looks until he actually gets to know them? Parth ended his walk by retracing his steps past the trees and exiting the garden. At the tea stall, he stopped to have a glass of his favorite ginger masala tea before going home. The eastern sky was beginning to light up. He could see the first crack of dawn against the dark sky. Soon the sun will rise and the day will begin. He could hear a cuckoo singing its lovely melody from someplace amid the trees. It was pleasant and refreshing. The other birds started singing too. Soon he was surrounded by a symphony of twittering and chirping. However, he had to leave these beautiful sounds behind. He had finished his tea, paid for it, and started walking towards his house to get ready for work when a WhatsApp notification popped on his phone. "Good morning, baby." Parth responded to Kalyani while walking home. Kalyani always got up early as being in Mumbai. She had to cope with the travel time to work, so an early morning message was not unusual for Parth. "Good morning. So what is the plan for the coming weekend?" "Why? What happened?" "Nothing. Can't I ask?" "Not like that, babes." "How about catching up over this weekend?" have 2 days off, so I was thinking that I'll come to Ahmedabad this Saturday morning and leave on Sunday night. We can hang out for 2 days together after a long time. Parth's hand suddenly froze after reading this, and so was his mind. He could not find words to respond to her immediately. Actually, for the last 2 months, Kalyani was trying to find opportunities for the two to get together. Kalyani wanted to create a chance for them to have quality time and strengthen their bond, knowing how much it meant to both of them. But the new work profile for Parth was not allowing him to adjust to her plans, which created disappointments every time. Question mark. Another message came. Kalyani was still waiting for his reply. Because Parth couldn't decide what to answer, he ignored reading it to avoid getting the blue tick read marked. Even though he too wanted to meet Kalyani desperately, there was no way he could manage that for the time being. He had thought that Ahmedabad being closer to Mumbai, they would be able to meet often, but the situations were not in his favor. Ratan Textile was planning a marketing event next month at a trade fair, and he had a lot of work this Saturday in the office preparing for the event. Parth was planning to bring some work home to finish on Sunday, so it was nearly impossible to affirm her plan. If you don't want to meet or have any other plans with your friends, then just tell me. I think we need to clear the air. Text me when you want to talk. This is not the first time anyways. It's not like that. You don't understand. Why are you overreacting? Oh, wow. So now I'm overreacting? Wonderful. Can you stop being sarcastic? So now you will decide how I should react to? You know what? Let's stop this for now. I will message you when I'm ready to talk. Okay. So you will now need time to make yourself ready to talk to me. I think I'm kinda getting it now. Suddenly, a car stopped with a screeching brake sound in front of Parth. His heart raced as he instinctively jumped back, narrowly avoiding a collision. The abrupt halt of the car sent a cloud of dust billowing into the air, obscuring his vision momentarily. He was so engrossed in the chat that he did not realize he was crossing the road without even looking around. The lady in the driving seat was furious at him. While Parth apologized and moved on within his building, he was unsure on how to proceed with his relationship moving forward. At this point in time, Parth decided that all he needed was to focus on his work performance, and that was the key priority for him. He was expecting Kalyani to understand that, but he also knew it was not happening anytime soon. Parth had faith in her, that she would understand eventually, as she always did. He thought about asking Krish for assistance when he next met him, but he wasn't sure when that would happen.